did approve the appointment of Honorable Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa Ruku, Member of Parliament from Mbeere North, as a Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Programs. Honorable members have since received a letter from the member dated 16th April 2025, tendering his resignation as the Member of Parliament for Mbeere North constituency, effective from 10 p.m. yesterday, Wednesday, 16th April 2025. This arose out of the gazettement of his appointment as a Cabinet Secretary via Gazette Notice number 4834 dated 16th April 2025. Indeed, today morning, the Honorable Ruku took oath of office as the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Programs. In this regard, honorable members, I will now proceed to execute the necessary actions required by law to declare the seat of Member for Parliament from Mbeere North constituency vacant so as to unlock the process of filling that vacancy. Honorable members, on my behalf and that of the House, I wish Honorable Ruku the best in his new assignment in the executive. The House and indeed the general public is accordingly advised. Members of the bar, take the nearest seats. I have two more. The nearest seats. Bowen, what is the idea of nearest seat? Thank you, honorable members. The next, a very short communication of recognition of a delegation from the County Assembly of Turkana. Honorable members, I wish to introduce to you a delegation from the County Assembly of Turkana who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The delegation comprises of the following: Honorable Charles Lokioto Ewoi, MCA, Speaker and Leader of the delegation; Honorable Michael Ewoi, MCA, I hope they are not brothers; and the Honorable Samuel Aliwo, MCA. Honorable members, the delegation is accompanied by 6 members of staff of the County Assembly of Turkana. They are on a study visit to the National Assembly to benchmark with the Speaker's panel on parliamentary business. Honorable members, on my behalf and on that of the National Assembly, I welcome the delegation to Parliament and wish them fruitful deliberations. The fourth and last, honorable members, is a recognition of students from Starehe Boys Center and Alliance Boys High School. I wish to introduce to you 6 students from Starehe Boys Center and 3 from Alliance High School who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The students are in Parliament for a period of 2 weeks on a voluntary service scheme. The program gives the students an opportunity to give back to the community by providing voluntary service to various organizations during the school holidays. Honorable members, on my behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome these students to Parliament and wish them a positive experience in their service to the nation. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. A, submission of nominees for the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for the following 31 constituencies: 1, Awendo; 2, Baringo North; 3, Bumula; 4, Changamwe; 5, Omuhaya; 6, Fafi; 7, Garsen; 8, Hamisi; 9, Nigembe; 10, Kacheliba; 11, Kiambu Town; 12, Kipipiri; 13, Kisumu Central; 14, Kisumu East; 15, Kitui East; 16, Kitui South; 17, Kitutu Chache North; 18, Kitutu Chache South; 19, Kuresoi; 20 Lungalunga, 21 Machakos Town, 22 Malindi, 23 Manyata, 24 Narok East, 25 Narok North, 26 Navaholo, 27 Tigania East, 28 Ugenya, 29 Uriri, 30 Wajir North, and 31 Wundanyi. B, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement for the years ended 30th June 2023 and the certificates therein in respect of 1, Bondo Technical Training Institute, 2, Ikuda Technical and Vocational College, 3, Kieni Technical and Vocational College, 4, Kinangop Technical and Vocational College, 5, Kongoni Technical and Vocational College, 6, Koshin Technical Training Institute, 7, Laikipia East Technical and Vocational College, 8, Mishuki Technical Training Institute, 9, Mukureni Technical Training Institute, 10, Nakach Technical and Vocational College, 11, Omuga Technical and Vocational College, 12, Samburu Technical and Vocational College, 13, Tinderet Technical and Vocational College, and 14, Uriri Technical and Vocational College. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay. Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Thank you, Naomi. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Blue Economy and Irrigation.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 17th April 2025. The report of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water Irrigation, and its consideration of 1, the agreement of fisheries subsidies, and 2, the sessional paper number 7 of 2024 on national sanitation management policy. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Health, Dr. Nyikal Munene. Is that Munene?
Yes, Speaker.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to read the following papers on the table of the House today. That's the 17th April 2025. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Health on 1, its consideration of the Medical Social Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2024. 2, attendance to the 4th Global Association of Clinical Officers and Physician Association International Delegates Conference held in Botswana from 26 to 29 August 2024. And 3, attendance to the 15th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees on Health, that is NIAPACO, held in Kingdom of Lesotho on 28 to 29 February 2024. I beg to raise, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Munene. Committee on Delegated Legislation.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, the 17th April 2025. The report of the Departmental Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of 1, the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on suppression of terrorism, regulations 2024, legal notice number 187 of 2024, and 2, the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on prevention, suppression, and disruption of proliferation, financing, amendment regulations, 2024, legal notice number 188 of 2024.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Bowen, Chair, Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give a notice of the following motion: that the House adopts the report of Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on its consideration of the agreement on fish subsidies laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17 April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8.4 of the Treaties Making and Ratification Act 2012, approves the ratification of the agreement on fisheries subsidies.
Chairperson, delegated legislation, Robert.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration on the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on the suppression of terrorism, regulations 2024 laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th April, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 18 of the Statutory Instruments Act, Cap 2A, announce the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on the suppression of terrorism, regulations 2024, legal notice number 187 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on prevention, suppression, and disruption of proliferation financing, amendment regulations 2024, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 18 of the Statutory Instruments Act, Cap 2A, announce the prevention of terrorism, implementation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions on the prevention, suppression, and disruption of proliferation financing, amendment regulations 2024, legal notice number 188 of 20.
That this House adopts a report of Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on its consideration on the sessional paper number 7 of 2024 on National Sanitation Management Policy, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th April 2025, and approves the sessional paper number 7 of 2024 on the National Sanitation Management Policy, subject to the revisions as contained in the schedule to the report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, we have several requests for statements. Let's start with Charles Onchoke. Is your mic working?
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding collapsed residential buildings in Bonchari constituency in Kisii County. Honorable Speaker, incidences of building collapsing while under construction or occupancy are being on an alarming rate, resulting in multiple fatalities, tragic loss of innocent lives, critical injuries, and loss of investments. Notably, on 2nd April 2025, a residential building collapsed in Iyabe in Bonchari constituency while under construction. 4 days later, on 6th April 2025, a 4-story residential building at Iterio also collapsed while under construction, seriously injuring 3 persons and resulting in the death of 5 persons, namely Mr. Richard Mose Nyamao of ID number 38359586, Mr. John Kamau Ayoti of ID number 361298871, Mr. Boaz Magoro Maobe of ID number 2274980, Mr. Nimrod Ondieki of ID number 36037187, and Mr. Geoffrey Nyakundi of ID number 3784230. Honorable Speaker, these instances continue to occur despite the elaborate legal framework in place for ensuring standards, safety, and orderly construction practices. Regrettably, the collapsed buildings in the Bonchari constituency were under construction despite being suspended by the National Construction Authority for non-compliance, including not being registered with the authority. Preliminary assessment of the structures also attributed the collapse to poor workmanship and overloading of upper floors beyond the approved structural design. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning, and Public Works on the following. 1, measures being taken by the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development to ensure strict enforcement of the building code for all construction projects. 2, the status of investigations into the causes of the collapse of the 4-story building at Iterio in Bonchari, including establishing the circumstances under which the project continued construction despite being stopped by the National Construction Authority due to safety concerns. 3, plans put in place to hold to account and penalize responsible persons for the collapse of the building for violating or abetting the violation of construction standards and safety. And 4, any plans to provide medical treatment support for the victims who sustained injuries and compensation for families of the 5 people who perished in the ill-fated building at Iterio. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Was it to security or public works? Chair, housing. Where is Johanna Ngeno? Is he still the chair of that committee? Owen Bayer. Can you inform the chair housing to bring a response to that report on the first day of resumption after recess?
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. Much obliged.
Doris Donya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request and the escalating cases of gender-based violence. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and International Security regarding the tragic death of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto Ayaye and the escalating cases of gender-based violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, the nation was recently shaken by the horrific killing of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto Ayaye of ID number 23-1943-385, a student at Multimedia University in Nairobi, whose body was discovered dumped in a rooftop water tank at the institution. According to the government's pathological report, the cause of death was strangulation. The prime suspect, a Mr. Philip Eric Mutinda, confessed to be premeditated actions, including targeting Sylvia while she was alone, making unwanted advances, and when rejected, resorting to fatal violence. He alleges that he later concealed her body in a suitcase before dumping it in a water tank. Honorable Speaker, this heartbreaking incident is not isolated and reflects a disturbing pattern of violence against women and girls across the country, particularly within institutions of higher learning. Ms. Kemunto's case has exposed glaring gaps in the safety protocols at these institutions and a lapse in societal accountability and our national commitment to ending gender-based violence. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the circumstances leading to the killing of Ms. Sylvia Kemunto, including how the suspect accessed the victim's room at the university. 2, report on the status of investigations and actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the National Police Service to prosecute the perpetrator of this heinous act. And lastly, report on the immediate and long-term measures put in place within institutions of higher learning to guarantee the safety of all students, particularly female students who remain disproportionately vulnerable, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Tongoyo, when can you bring a response to this? Can you give him the mic? Yes, there you are.
Honorable Speaker, maybe we can able to do within 2 weeks. But Honorable Speaker, I just want to report to the House that we are considering the number of statements. We had seen it fit to call the CS to appear before the committee next week around 24th or 2nd. So we'll need your indulgence if we can probably combine, including even the honorable members, so that the CS can able even to, she can appear even on the same day. There are quite a number of statements. So we wanted to lump them and have the CS appear before the committee and the members.
Your CS is a lady?
Sorry?
You said she will appear?
No, he,
Yes.
Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The CS Interior.
So notify the concerned members through the clerk the day of appearance so that they can be available. Honorable Zamzam.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for statements regarding the death of Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi following the collapse of the demolished building in Mombasa County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the death of Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi following the collapse of the demolished building in Mombasa. Honorable Speaker, on 8 April 2025, the county government of Mombasa announced plans to carry out controlled demolition of a structure located on plot number XLVI/195/MI in Mombasa County following partial collapse of the building. On 9 April 2025, a multi-agency team led by the Kenya Defense Forces was deployed to the coastal city through a gazette notice issued on 7 April 2025 to carry out the controlled demolition. Sadly, Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi was found dead, having been apparently trapped inside the building during its partial collapse. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the following. 1, report on the measures being taken by the government to support the family of the late Mr. Yusuf Ali Abdi, who died while apparently trapped inside the collapsed building located on plot number XLVI/195/MI. And 2, to provide a status report on the investigation into the collapse of the building and subsequent death of Mr. Yusuf Abdi. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I've confirmed that the CS will be appearing on Tuesday, 22nd, and we'll try to see whether we can lump together even with the honorable members and have them responded to the same day with the rest of the statements.
Thank you. Mwashako. Honorable Mwashako.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Hold there, Mwashako. You have a statement in regard with the Director General of Kenya Fisheries.
I want to
believe that one will be stayed.
Yes.
And you
I do the general.
request the one that I approved this afternoon
Yes, sir.
on mining.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 43.1, I wish to make a general statement regarding alleged commitment of Taita Taveta County mineral fields as collateral for government loan. Honorable Speaker, I rise to address a matter of grave concern that has recently caused anxiety among the people of Taita Taveta County. The claims which have been circulating on various social media platforms are unverified reports alleging that the government of Kenya has committed the mineral resources of Taita Taveta as collateral to secure a loan from the government of the People's Republic of China. These claims have understandably triggered unease, especially considering the long-standing perception that the benefits of mining activities in our county have historically accrued to outsiders, leaving local communities marginalized and deprived of their accruing economic gains. Honorable Speaker, I wish to categorically state, after engaging the relevant authorities and conducting due diligence on the matter, that these allegations are entirely false, baseless, and misleading. I wish to assure the people of Taita Taveta County that we, the elected leaders from the region, have received firm assurances from the government that no such arrangement has been made, nor is there any intention to do so. As the leaders elected to serve and protect the interests of our people, we remain vigilant and fully committed to ensuring that the natural resources found within Taita Taveta County benefit our people. Mr. Honorable Speaker, the people of Taita Taveta have our guarantee that on their behalf, we support and will continue to support legitimate investors operating within the framework of our laws and provision of Article 71 of our Constitution. On behalf of the elected leaders from Taita Taveta County, I wish to categorically affirm that we shall not permit illegal mining activities that contravene the law and the principle of exploitation of natural resources as espoused in Article 69 and 71 of the Constitution. In collaboration with the Ministry of Mining under the stewardship of the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ali Hassan Joho, our security agencies, we will take firm action against anyone engaging in such unlawful activities. Finally, Honorable Speaker, to the people of Taita Taveta, I say this: remain calm and confident in your leadership. We are alert and deeply committed to defending and safeguarding the natural resources that rightfully belong to you and our future generation. Thank you, and may God bless Taita Taveta and the Republic of Kenya. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, a member for Mwatate or Voi, sorry. Member for Voi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the statement by Honorable Mwashako, MP for Mundanyi. Minerals and indeed other natural resources is a heritage of the people of Taita Taveta County, and as such, we take great exception to any insinuations that these resources have been unlawfully utilized as collateral for some loan. I join my colleagues from Taita Taveta in reassuring the people of Taita Taveta that as their leaders, we remain vigilant and will not accept any actions from whichever source that aim to jeopardize their heritage and ancestral rights. The people and the resources of Taita Taveta County deserve protection and are indeed protected by existing laws. And we should be careful as leaders not to make any inflammatory remarks. Finally, Mr. Speaker, most of these minerals are on land that is either community land or privately owned as ranches. And such remarks have raised a lot of concern from landowners in Taita Taveta County. And it might be time that the government needs to clarify this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Samuel Chepkonga, he sent me a message that he has assigned the member for KO South to present the request. Kimayo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the total amount of money that has been spent in the provision of bursaries by county governments in the last 5 financial years. That is financial year 2024-2025, 2023-2024, 2022-2023, 2021-2022, and 2020-2021. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, the fourth schedule to the Constitution expressly delineates the functions of the national and county governments in respect of education. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, paragraph 16 of part 1 of the fourth schedule to the Constitution provides that primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and universities are functions of the national government. On the other hand, paragraph 9 of part 2 of the fourth schedule to the Constitution provides that pre-primary education, village polytechnics, home craft centers, and children facilities are functions of county governments. Honorable Speaker, despite these clear provisions of the Constitution, county governments have apparently been spending billions of shillings of devolved funds in provision of bursaries for students in schools not falling within the functions of county governments. There are also allegations that seemingly unlawful expenditure has been incurred by county governors with approval of the controller of budget, who authorizes the withdrawal of public funds for the utilization of provision of bursaries to students in primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and the universities. Further, it is notable that these matters have been subject of litigation. It is important for members of this House to fully be informed on these matters, which are pertinent to the several legislative interventions before the House, and to seek to resolve the issue of duplication of roles by the county governments and the unlawful expenditure of devolved funds on the functions that fall under national government in respect to provision of bursaries. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of Budget and Appropriations Committee on the following. Number 1, information from the controller of budget on the total amount of public funds that have been spent by county governors in the provision of bursaries to students at different levels of education, that is pre-primary education, primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary institutions, and universities for the financial year 2024-25, 23-24, 2022-23, 2021-2022, and financial year 2020-2021. The information on the total amount of devolved funds spent for each financial year should also clearly indicate the level of education for which the public funds were spent for the provision of bursaries per county. Secondly, an explanation from the controller of budget on what legal basis has been for the authorizing of withdrawal of funds for expenditure by county governors in provision of bursaries for functions that do not fall under the county government's jurisdiction. And finally, the specific steps the controller of budget has taken to stop the apparently unlawful expenditure of public funds by county governors. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the statement by the Honorable Kimayo in regard to these issues of bursary and what I will call an unclear division of roles between different arms of government or sectors of government. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, this House has really debated on this question of what really is this House meant to do or supposed to do, or the national government, and any responsibility that pertains issues to do with county government should be left to the county government, Honorable Speaker. But looking at what the county governors are doing, Honorable Speaker, it's about time we sit and ask ourselves exactly how we are going to handle these menace, Honorable Speaker. You will see that on one point, Honorable Speaker, they claim that the national government has refused to relinquish part of their responsibilities back to the county government, Honorable Speaker. They then blamed the members of parliament on the questions of NGCDF and other matters. They've taken this House, Honorable Speaker, the PSC or members of this National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, to court on several occasions, my Honorable Speaker. And then, on the other hand, they are here moving around the counties, the constituencies, Honorable Speaker, distributing bursaries, a subject that is left, or rather that is supposed to be done by the national government, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, while we agree that we need to amalgamate these funds, perhaps in the near future, where we'll have one loop of fund, Honorable Speaker, and perhaps a commission, and this is a discussion that we're having that I'm very happy that was actually initiated by you, but it's also important that even before we get to that point, as we are right now, Honorable Speaker, education is a subject of the national government. What the hell does a governor, what interest does a governor have in distributing bursaries, Honorable Speaker, all over, by Honorable Speaker, in secondary schools, in universities, and Honorable Speaker, what they do, they don't even give substantial amount. It's usually laughable. They only distribute, Honorable Speaker, about 2,000 shillings per student, or sometimes 1,000 shillings. Then they make a lot of noise about it. They move around. Honorable Speaker, it's really a question that we need to discuss. That a governor would move with a convoy of 40 vehicles to give a bursary of 5 million in a village. Then move to another one. He has another 60 vehicles. Half of them are carrying goons to give a bursary of 10 million, Honorable Speaker. Then here we are again. They raise issues of how we distribute, but with the meager resources that are oversighted by the members of this House, Honorable Speaker, we do not give 1,000 shillings. The members of the National Assembly oversight a committee of CDF, Honorable Speaker, but they do not give 1,000. They don't give 2,000, and you don't even shout about it. Honorable Speaker, this is really a question that really needs to be discussed upon, and that is why even today here, even as we discuss about the next agenda that we are going to have perhaps in the order paper, Honorable Speaker, look, that they have taken members of parliament to court on the question of roads, Honorable Speaker, on the RMLF. And on the other hand, Honorable Speaker, they claim, Honorable Speaker, that they want everything that we handle here, Honorable Speaker, reverted to them. What is that? Honorable Speaker, I am on record having said here that with the meager resources that you get, you will see it in full glare of the camera, by all of us can be able to see. But you will need a microscope to identify what a governor does. You will actually need a microscope, Honorable Speaker. You will need the bigger lenses that you are wearing, Honorable Speaker, to identify what governors do, other than hiring goons and having people around, paid up crowds. Honorable Speaker, it is universal in this county government. It's universal in the governors. They carry with them, Honorable Speaker, a paid up team that does not change. Sometimes they even forget to change their clothes. They move from one ward to another. They sit in front in public functions, and their work is just one, to cheer, so that they portray, popularity. Some, Honorable Speaker, were even found with cash in the house. Honorable Speaker, if you gave me 12 million shillings to give bursaries in the constituencies, Honorable Speaker, I could have given a lot of, so many students. But our governor keeps 12 million in his bedroom, Honorable Speaker, in his bedroom. And then there's some other, in the currency of the US dollars. And what does he do? When he's caught up with, what does he do? He incites his paid up goons, the normal cheering crowd, moves around Kenyatta Avenue, shouting that, this is personal vendetta. You are a thief, you are a thief. Face it, face it. You have stolen. Sorry, Honorable Speaker.
You've made your point.
Thank you very much.
Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one of the things that is very frequent and very common almost every day on TV, you see governors get together and they are constantly complaining that there is money that is delayed, and many times money is not enough. So it is a shocker that even though the money they're given, they complain it's not enough. They go beyond the mandate that the Constitution has given them and start doing things that are supposed to be done by the national government. The issue of bursary, it is a shocker, Mr. Speaker, that for all these years, since the inception of the new constitution 2010, governors have actually given bursary every year. And what I'm wondering is, when did the controller of budget realize this problem? Why wasn't it sorted out long time ago? So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that for governors, the money that they're given, let them do the mandate for which they are supposed to do. If it is a matter of education, Mr. Speaker, they have ECDs. In fact, I will tell you, Mr. Speaker, in a lot of constituencies in Kenya, you find the ECD classes are actually built using the national government constituency development fund, because most of them are dilapidated. Our polytechnics are in state of disrepair. There are no tutors. There is no equipment. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise governors, please do the job for which the Constitution has assigned to you. Read the fourth schedule clearly and leave the work of the national government to be done by the national government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, you'll have an opportunity to ventilate on that at order number at order number 9. So hold your horses. Susanna Kiamba.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I raise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding implementation of the Affordable Housing Program. Honorable Speaker, since the enactment of Affordable Housing Act 2024, the people of Kenya have dutifully contributed to the housing levy, the funding mechanism for the Affordable Housing Program. This initiative is intended to provide decent, accessible, and affordable housing to all Kenyans, in line with Article 43 of the Constitution. However, concerns have been raised by a section of Kenyans regarding transparency and accountability of the administration of the funds collected through the housing levy. There is a growing apprehension about potential mismanagement of these funds, as well as lack of clarity on the specific project that have been executed and accessibility of the houses under the program to the intended beneficiaries. It is therefore necessary that the government provides comprehensive information on the status and progress of implementation of affordable housing projects. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and the Public Works on the following. A detailed report on the total amount of money collected under the housing levy since its inception, the amount drawn from the fund, and the measures for ensuring that the funds are strictly utilized for the intended purpose. A report on the project funded by the housing levy so far, the amount channeled to each of the project, the specific constituencies where they are located, and the status of implementation. 3, a report on the number and details of Kenyans, especially from the vulnerable households, who have acquired housing units under the Affordable Housing Program, and the mechanism put in place to ensure accountability, transparency, and the value for money in the project, including the oversight framework for the project and details of the agencies that oversight the program. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Housing. Any member from that committee? Yes, Zengu. You are a member of that committee? Take your seat. Majority Leader, inform the chair of that committee to bring a response within the first 2 days of our resumption after recess. Double N Pamela Njoki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I rise to request for a statement regarding the accessibility of critical institutions by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the
Critical
provision,
institutions or critical services in public institutions?
request for statement regarding the accessibility of critical services in critical institutions
Yes.
by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Social Protection regarding the accessibility of critical services in public institutions by deaf persons. Honorable Speaker, Article 7(3) of the Constitution obligates the state to promote the development and use of the Kenya Sign Language. Further, Article 54 guarantees that persons with disabilities are entitled to reasonable access to all places, public transport, and information. However, the lived reality of the deaf persons in the country shows that there is a gap in the provisions of the law and the actual realization. In many public institutions, particularly hospitals, deaf persons are often unable to communicate their health needs due to the absence of sign language interpreters or alternative communication technologies. Article 43 of the Constitution provides that every person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to healthcare services. This cannot be achieved due to inaccessibility to services by deaf persons in these institutions. This communication barrier exposes them to misdiagnosis, improper treatment, and alienation from critical public services. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Social Protection on the following. 1, report indicating the number and the distribution of sign language interpreters across critical institutions in the country, including public hospitals, courts, and police stations. Number 2, steps that the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection is taking to implement the provisions of the Constitution in relation to accessibility by persons who are deaf. 3, measures in place to promote the training, certification, and deployment of sign language and interpreters across critical institutions. And finally, policy in place to develop assistive technology that supports communication for persons who are deaf or hearing impaired. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair, Social Protection Committee. Any member? Tim Wanyonyi, can your committee bring a response? Or you wanted to joyride?
No, I am a member of that committee, Mr. Speaker.
You bring a response the third day of our sitting after the recess.
May I also comment on that, Mr. Speaker?
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, the Persons with Disabilities Act has been around since 2004, including now the recent one that we just passed the other day. UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities addresses all these issues and is even entrenched in our Constitution that people with disability will also be given their due rights. Mr. Speaker, the biggest culprit is always the government, and we must now address this issue head on. We should now even become more litigant on this issue because some people are just reluctant to implement the law that is already in place. So, Mr. Speaker, as we wait for that statement, I will make sure that these issues are properly addressed and also that the law is enforced. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Bring a response. Tell your chairman as I've directed. Lelmengit Joses Mkwen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to request for a statement on the state of the section of Chepterit Moi University Road. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the state of the section RW 343 of Chepterit Moi University Road. Honorable Speaker, section RW 343 of the Chepterit Moi University Road is a crucial road link connecting Nandi and Uasin Gishu counties and boosting economic growth in the region. It provides access to strategic facilities such as Moi University, Kilibwani Tea Factory, health facilities, markets, milk cooling plants, and various schools, including Toulon Secondary School. The 22-kilometer road was prioritized for tarmacking and a contract awarded to MS Zivicon K Limited in August 2016. The project commenced in December 2018, but the contractor failed to deliver, leading to its reassignment to China Railway Number 10 Engineering Group Company Limited. Despite the reassignment, the project has still faced prolonged construction delays and poor workmanship, with completed section deteriorating and forming potholes within few months of being tarmacked. The deplorable state of this road has compromised accessibility and safety standards, resulting in fatal accidents, disrupting residents who are predominantly on agricultural community, from timely transportation of perishable farm produce and negatively impacting economic development in the region. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. A detailed report on the status of construction of section RW 343 of Chepterit Moi University Road, including the scope, total budget allocated, and the amount paid to contractors so far. Number two, a report on the contract terms, including provisions on maintenance period within the contractor is accountable for repair of defects and tender cancellation, specifying the financial implications incurred from the contract cancellation. Number three, the oversight conducted during construction of the said road, whether the road was certified as meeting the required standards and a completion certificate issued, and if not, justification for payments made to the contractors despite the substandard work. Number four, plans to complete the remaining section of the road and restore the deteriorated sections to proper standards, including long-term measures to ensure quality in the road construction. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mangit. Chair, Transport and Infrastructure. You are a member?
Yes, a member. Mr. Speaker, we will respond the first week when we come from recess.
Thank you. Doris Donya. Oh, that is for response. Transport, you have a response?
Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Chair, Transport and Infrastructure Committee, wish to respond. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 27th February, a member, Kisii County, Honorable Doris Donya, requested for a statement from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the utilization of the fuel levy fund. Honorable Donya, in a statement, indicated that even though 80% of the fuel levy is sourced from the road users, the condition of most roads across the country remains poor, characterized by potholes, inadequate drainage, and stall projects. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Donya therefore sought the following information. One, a report on the total collection of the use of fuel levy for the maintenance, rehabilitation, and development of the country's road network over the past 3 years, including the details of the specific roads, steps implemented by the ministry to ensure transparency and accountability in the expenditure of the fuel levy fund, the criteria used to prioritize road maintenance and construction projects funded by the fund, measures put in place to ensure timely completion of the projects funded by the fund, and the status of disbursement of fuel levy fund between the national government and the county governments, and whether county governments are sufficiently funded to maintain the roads under their jurisdiction. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 26th, and now wish to make as follows. Regarding the total collection and the use of fuel levy fund for the maintenance, rehabilitation, and development of the country's road network over the past 3 years, including the specific details of the roads that have been done, the minister submitted a whole table list, Honorable Speaker, which has been presented to the questioner. I just wanted to note, Honorable Speaker, that in the financial year 22-23, 82.8 billion shillings was collected, 23-24, 77.1, in 24-25, a total of 112 billion collected, and it's estimated that in 25-26, a total of 113.6 billion will be collected. The honorable member may go through the list of the projects in the response that has been given to her. However, Honorable Speaker, I would like to bring to the attention of the House of the fact that the High Court in Nairobi issued interim conservatory orders on 19th August 2024, directing the Kenya Roads Board to freeze and withhold RMLF funds collected in the financial year 24-25 to the extent of 10,522 million to be allocated to the county governments. In compliance with the court order, the board is withholding RMLF allocation for Kera and Kura in this financial year, as tabulated also in annex that is being provided. I don't want to go through all the figures, but to make it clear to the members, 24.7 million shillings allocated to each constituency is being withheld. Question number 2, regarding the steps implemented by the ministry to ensure transparency and accountability in the expenditure of the fuel levy fund, the ministry submitted that section, according to section 62G and section 26.1 of the Kenya Roads Board Act 1999, gives KRB the mandate to monitor and evaluate, and by means of technical, financial, and performance audits, the delivery of goods, works, and services financed by the fund. Number 4, technical, financial, and performance audit programs have been undertaken by the board from the year 2003 to date, and the findings and the recommendations are disseminated to the roads agencies for action. The ministry therefore provides copies of technical, financial, performance audit reports for Kena, for Kera, for Kura, and for KWS for 22-23, 23-24 to the committee, and it has been availed also to the member. Number 5, Honorable Speaker, regarding the criteria used to prioritize road maintenance and the constructions of projects funded from the fuel levy, the ministry submitted that prior to preparing the annual roads works program, roads agencies carry out annual roads inventory and condition surveys to determine the conditions of the road network under their jurisdiction. And due to budgetary constraints, road prioritization is undertaken in line with the road sector investment program. Under this program, the road maintenance and developments are prioritized in the following order. Number 1, preservation through routine and periodic maintenance of the maintainable road network. Number 2, the road asset restoration through rehabilitation and reconstruction. Number 3 is road improvement and development through upgrading, road widening, junction improvement, and new constructions, including provisions for non-motorized traffic. Number 6, Honorable Speaker, regarding the measures put in place to ensure timely completion of roads project funded from the fuel levy, the ministry submitted that the following measures have been put in place to ensure timely completion of projects funded by the levy. The annual public roads program is an annual program, and therefore projects under this are completed within the financial year. Number 2 is pursuant to section 19(1) and 2 of KRB General Rules 2022, the ministry through KRB monitors implementation of APRP by reviewing quarterly returns from the road agencies which highlight delays and challenges in the execution of the projects. The board makes monthly disbursements for funds to roads agencies to ensure adequate funding and timely completion of the works. The ministry, through the Kenya Institute of Highway and Building Technology, KIBIT, undertakes capacity building of contractors and enhanced quality of works and construction management. Roads agencies have embraced performance-based contracting, and therefore, where contractors are paid to attain set and agreed service levels, the milestones, and penalized for non-compliance with these service levels. Honorable Speaker, regarding the status of disbursements of fuel levy fund between the national government and the county government, and whether counties are sufficiently funded to maintain the road networks under their jurisdiction, the ministry submitted that through KRB regular monitoring and the progress of RMLF funded projects through technical, financial, and performance audit, the ministry submitted the list of ongoing projects under KENHA, KERA, KURA, and KWS. Fuel levy funds are allocated to road agencies in accordance with the Section 6D of KRB Act. The county governments received 15% of the fuel levy as conditional grants from year 2015-16 to year 2020-21, based on the County Allocation of Revenue Act for maintenance of county roads. The maintenance of county roads is incorporated into the equitable revenue shareable from the exchequer, with counties not receiving fuel levy funds. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Further, Honorable Speaker, I think the comprehensive answers to this question may be also provided next week when the Minister for Roads and Transport will be in the chambers to answer some of the questions pertaining particularly to the fuel levy fund. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Doris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The honorable member who has acted as chair is saying that the Kenya Roads Board remits monthly what they've collected from the fuel levy to repair the roads, Mr. Speaker. And then the roads I asked, he has said that they gave me a whole list of roads, which I don't have. The only ones they sent don't even exist, because they are telling me, Kisi, they are doing Nyaramba Road. That is in Nyamira, number one. You are just sending me this information to fill your answers. It is not even correct. Nyaramba, anyone who is listening, Rene, Irene Mayaka and Jerusha here, they are wondering what you are talking about. Nyaramba is in Nyamira. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, they collect 25 shillings per liter. Every time, Mr. Speaker, you fuel, 25 per liter goes to Kenya Roads Board. But it's not a reflection. Maybe if they don't know what I'm talking about, we go a convoy of vehicles. I take them through the Kisi roads, and then we confirm the 25 shillings the Kisi people are paying per liter if it is working. Now they are lying to me that they are repairing Nyaramba Road, which is not in Kisi, Mr. Speaker. And then on top of it, they have even paid over, I think, 17 billion, what I saw on pending bills. When you go to Kura, Kenha, they first of all say we have money to do this road, What has accumulated, Mr. Speaker, to 17 billion? Then we are paying every day fuel levy. Why are you, we have never gone to fuel and then we are told today we will fuel and then there will be pending bills for fuel. Our cars have never asked for pending bills. We fuel, the fuel levy is deducted every time you fuel, Mr. Speaker. So do we bring statements, then we get showed the answers like the way they gave me for bonuses, or it is Donya who doesn't understand what she is doing, Mr. Speaker?
Komingoi, are you misleading Donya?
Donya is not misled, Honorable Speaker. Donya has opted to become particularized to a region on a matter that is of national survey. The question is, there is not enough funds to do all the roads at the same time in the country. The honorable member is aware also that there are pending bills of works that have been executed in the country and have not been paid for. Number two is that the 25 shillings she's claiming includes also the 7 shillings that has been allocated for securitization for the purposes of paying the pending bills. I am aware also that truly most roads are not in good condition, not only in Kisii County, including my own constituency and many other parts of this country. Therefore, we are bringing these issues for the House to be made aware that in this financial year alone, by the case that the county governments presented themselves in court and the court order that is there, 24.7 million shillings allocated to each constituency is being held. And that is the reason why, Honorable Speaker, yesterday, when you gave directions that the minister comes to this house so that he can elucidate further and make clarifications for the purposes of all of us understanding the issue of roads, the current condition of roads, the plan that exists for rehabilitation and maintenance of roads, and the fact that not enough money is being collected only in fuel levy. You may be able also, there was also a presentation that has been done within our committee on how else can funds be made available for us to be able to cater for the need of all roads and counties. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is that fuel levy in this financial year and the proposal for the next financial year will not be given to counties. And that is the position. So on county roads, there will be no funding in this fuel levy, other than the monies that have been appropriated by the House and appropriated by the National Assembly, the county assemblies to fund those roads. But on this matter, only the roads that have been allocated and presented to the ministry through the Kenya Roads Board for funding in the annual plans will be funded. And most of those roads, the list is available. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, your Thursday statement. Johanna Ngeno.
I have briefed him.
Johanna Ngeno. You are behaving like we had a minister in the 7th Parliament called Kamwithi Munyi. He would wait out there until all questions to his ministry are called, then he walks in.
Mr. Speaker, I have briefed him on the statements that he is required to report on the second day after we open,
Yes.
after recess.
Yes.
And so I had done with one of the most diligent members in that committee in the name of Jen Kagiri. Then the chairman, as you say, walked in.
Yes.
So I was just briefing him.
Tell him not to behave like Kamwithi Munyi.
And you know, he is dressed in a pinstrip suit just like Kamwithi Munyi. Honorable Speaker, allow me to go to the
I'm sure Farah
Thursday
remember
statement.
Kamwithi Munyi. Go on, Majority.
On behalf of the House Business Committee, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2A, I rise to give the following statements, which on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at the second reading, if not concluded today. 1, the Learners with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 4 of 2023, the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill of 2025, the Treaty Making and Ratification Amendment number 2 Bill of 2024, the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill of 2023, and the National Cohesion and Integration Bill of 2023. In addition, Honorable Speaker, the House will prioritize consideration of the motion on the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Further, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Orders 42A5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 23rd April 2025, to respond to the following questions. Question by private notice number 07 of 2025 by the member for Kiambu County, Honorable Anne Wamratha, regarding the suspension of Super Metro Sacco Limited operating license. 2, question number 011 of 2025 by the member for North Mugirango, Honorable Joash Nyamoko, regarding the status of the construction of Tombe Isinta, Gitaru, Obuari, Mabariri, Nyamaya, and C21 Ekerenyo Obuari, Aichabera roads in North Mugirango constituency. Question number 012 of 2025 by the member for Machakos Town, Honorable Caleb Muller, regarding the upgrading of Mwanyani Katoloni Road in Machakos Town constituency to bitumen standards by the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, Kura. Question number 013 of 2025 by the member for Vihiga County, Honorable Beatrice Adagala, regarding the status of the construction of Shamahoho Gitambai Road. Question number 014 of 2025 by the member for Ruiru, Honorable Simon Kingara, regarding the processing of the smart driving licenses in the country. Question number 015 of 2025 by the member for Teso South, Honorable Mary Amase, regarding the rehabilitation and maintenance of the Busia Malaba Road. Question number 053 of 2025 by the member for Moiben, Honorable Professor Phyllis Barto, regarding commencement of the construction works on the Tachasis, Chebeimit, Ainet, Chebarus, and Riada roads. Question number 054 of 2025 by the member for Kinango, the Honorable Gonzi Rai, regarding the current condition of Kinango Mariakani Road C107 and the impact of the recent rains on its deterioration. Question number 055 of 2025 by the member for Kurisoi South, Honorable Joseph Tonui, regarding the delays in the construction of Lelechwet Cheram Bridge in Kuresoi South constituency. Question 056 of 2025 by the member for Kaiti, Honorable Joshua Kimilu, regarding the current status of C435 road from Sultan Hamud to Kikoko. Question number 057 of 2025 by the member for Naivasha, Honorable Jen Kihara, regarding compensation of landowners for land acquired by Kenya Railways Corporation for the construction of SGR and the metric gauge railway. Question number 058 of 2025 by the member for Machakos County, Honorable Joyce Kamene, regarding a status report on rehabilitation and improvements on the Mlolongo Quarry Katani Road and other link roads. Question number 059 of 2025 by the member for Starehe, Honorable Amos Mwago, regarding the status rehabilitation of the collapsed bridges in Ngara and Landimar wards in Starehe constituency. Question 060 of 2025 by the member for West Mugirango, Honorable Stephen Mogaka, regarding the provision of a comprehensive list of all Kera Road projects in West Mugirango constituency for the past 3 financial years, indicating their status, budget allocation, and implementing contractors. Question number 061 of 2025 by the member for Embakasi West, Honorable Mark Mwenje, regarding the measures being taken by the government to ensure the work plans tendered by the Kenya Rural Roads Authority and the Kenya Urban Roads Authority for the financial year 2024-2025 are not suspended due to the lack of funds. And question number 062 of 2025 by the member for Runyenjes, the Honorable Mushangi Karemba, regarding immediate and long-term measures by the ministry to curb the frequent accidents caused by Miraa transport vehicles along the Nairobi-Meru Highway. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 22nd April 2025 to schedule business for the rest of the week. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the House Business Committee to wish all members and Kenyans at large, including the great people of Kikuyu, a happy Easter. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House.
Next order.
Order number 8, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as ambassador, permanent representative, and consuls general.
Bashir, we have not proposed it yet. Yeah. Honorable Bashir, you can hear what your colleagues are saying, so make it short. Move your motion. Tell us your seconder.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Parliamentary Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of 4 nominees for appointment as ambassador, permanent representative, and consul general laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Article 1322C of the Constitution, Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185E, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as permanent representative, ambassador, and consul general. 1. Engineer Peter Kiblaga Tung, CBS, ambassador to Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. 2. Mrs. Susan Nakombinja Wafula, EGH, as the permanent representative to the permanent mission of Kenya to UN Habitat, Nairobi. 3. Mr. James Bujakane Mutahi, CBS, Consul General to Guangzhou, China. And 4, Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido, Consul General to Arusha, United Republic of Tanzania. Honorable Speaker, the offices of Ambassador, Permanent Representative, and Consul General stand as Kenya's outposts of sovereignty and service. As defined in Section 21 of the Foreign Service Act, the head of mission is not only the President's voice abroad, but the steward of Kenya's foreign policy, the custodian of our image, the leader of the diplomatic staff, and the guardian of public funds. This, they carry the flag, the trust, and the duty all in one. Honorable Speaker, in discharging our mandate as a committee, that is the Committee of Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations, conducted the sessions of vetting guided by Chapter 6 of the Leadership and Integrity Act and animated by the spirit of public participation as enshrined in Article 118. We subjected the nominees to rigorous scrutiny, measuring only their qualification and experience, but also their moral compass, vision, and fitness to carry Kenya's flag across the borders. Honorable Speaker, in keeping with Standing Order 422, your office relayed to the House the President's message regarding the nomination of the 4 persons to serve as ambassador, permanent representative, and consul general. The names were accordingly committed to the committee pursuant to Article 1244A of the Constitution for approval hearings and report within the statutory timelines. Honorable Speaker, to uphold transparency, a public notice was placed in the mainstream dailies on Friday, 28th March 2025, inviting written memoranda of the stability of otherwise of the nominees as required under Section 6(9) of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act and Article 118 of the Constitution. To this effect, Honorable Speaker, only one memorandum was received opposing the nomination of Honorable Susan Nakombinja Wafula, EGH. The grounds raised, namely that her earlier dismissal from cabinet invalidated her nomination, were carefully reviewed. Honorable Speaker, the committee, in its considered judgment, observed that the dismissal of Mrs. Susan Nakombinja was effected under Article 1525B of the Constitution, which grants the President discretion to dismiss a cabinet secretary without prescribing grounds for the dismissal. Crucially, the dismissal did not fall under Article 75, which governs ethical misconduct and carries the consequence of disqualifications from future state office. As such, her public service journey remains lawfully unbroken, and the committee found no legal or moral impediment to a continued service to the Republic. Honorable Speaker, in further fulfillment of due diligence, the Clerk of the National Assembly wrote to relevant agencies, the EACC, KRA, DCI, HELP, and ORPP, seeking reports on the nominees' integrity, tax compliance, criminal record status, loan obligations, and political affiliations. All agencies returned clean reports affirming the nominees' good standing. Honorable Speaker, the committee conducted oral approval hearings on Monday, 7th April 2025, evaluating each nominee's academic credentials, professional record integrity, nomination procedure, and overall stability as required under Section 6 and 7 of the Public Appointments Act. Following this exercise, the committee made the following general observations. 1, each nominee stands as a Kenyan citizen and bound by allegiance to any other nation and in full fidelity to Article 78 of the Constitution. 2, they each gave solemn assurance to engage in no other lawful gainful pursuit, placing and public duty above private interest in keeping with Article 771. 3, none holds political party office, reflecting impartiality and alignment with the spirit of Article 77.2. 4, they affirmed their adherence to Articles 75 and 76, vowing to uphold ethical conduct and to disclose and manage any potential conflict of interest. And finally, all 4 nominees demonstrated both in paper and presence their competence, integrity, and preparedness worthy of service to the Republic. Honorable Speaker, I just want to pick a few of those nominees so that the members can really understand that what we have gone through as a committee. One of the nominees is Engineer Peter Kivlaga Tum. Honorable Speaker, Engineer Kivlaga Tum found not just a nominee, but a seasoned public servant, a man of quiet diligence and tested resolve. Engineer Tum holds a Master of Science in Energy Management from the University of Nairobi, a Bachelor of Industrial Technology from Michigan University, and a postgraduate diploma in Medical Electronics from Queen Mary University of London, with a higher diploma in Electrical Engineering from Kenya Polytechnic. His academic path reflects a mind honed for systems, strategy, and precision. His technical acumen aligns seamlessly with Kenya's development footprint in the DRC. Engineer Tum has over 25 years in senior public service. Engineer Tum has stood at the helm of critical reforms as Principal Secretary in Sports, Labor and Health, and as CEO of KMTC. He brings with him the rare ability to weave together cross-sectoral programs, harmonize government and non-state actors, and drive impact with quiet efficiency. His depth of governance satisfies the legal and strategic standards under Section 7C of the Public Appointments Act. No objection has been raised by the public, and the process was under Article 118 of the Constitution was faithfully observed. His nomination sailed unopposed, and rightly so. The committee therefore recommends his appointment. Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Susan Nakuminja Wafula, the nominee for permanent representative to UN Habitat. Her academic journey has been as follows. She has a Master's of Science in Procurement and Logistics, a Bachelor in Purchasing and Supplies from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, and a Diploma in Healthcare Management from the Kenya Institute of Management. In this multidisciplinary grounding, the committee sees not just credentials, but capacity to manage complexity, to deliver results, and to steer Kenya's mission with multilateral frameworks. Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Nakuminja brings over 20 years of experience to the table and therefore is fit to undertake the task that she's noted for. In line with Article 118 of the Constitution, the committee invited public participation. Only one submission from Mr. Eliud Karanja Motindi opposed her nomination on grounds that she has been dismissed from cabinet through Gazette Notice 8440 of 2024. However, the committee determined that the dismissal was made under Article 1525B, which allows presidential discretion and does not bar future appointment. She was not dismissed under Article 752, which alone carries disqualification. The objection, though duly received, was constitutionally unsubstantiated. The committee therefore recommends appointment. Honorable Speaker, the last nominee that I want just to talk about is Abdi Dubat Fido, the nominee for Consul General to Arusha, Tanzania. In the person of Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido, the committee encountered not just a nominee, but a man forged in the fibers of public finance, regional diplomacy, and unshakable national purpose. He stands eligible under Article 78(1) and 2 of the Constitution, a Kenyan by birth and by oath, and distracted by dual ties. Honorable Speaker, academically, he has a master's of both numbers and strategy. He holds a Master of Business Administration in Strategy, Planning, and a Bachelor of Commerce in Finance from University of Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, his career has spanned boardrooms and ministries, from PricewaterhouseCoopers to founding and leading consulting firms to serving as Principal Secretary for East African Community Affairs, where he did not watch regional integration from the sidelines, he led it. He negotiated, coordinated, and safeguarded Kenya's position in Arusha, and now returns not as a visitor, but as our chosen voice as a Consul General. Honorable Speaker, in leadership, Fido has not simply managed budgets, he has also steered reform, inspired teams, and delivered results. He is a builder of bridges. His vision for the consulate is clear and forward-looking to deepen Kenya's Tanzania relations, advance regional integration, empower Kenyan SMEs, and strengthen consular service delivery to Kenyans. The committee therefore recommends without reservation the appointment of Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido as Consul General of Kenya to Arusha, United Republic of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, Kofi Annan once said, more than ever before in history, we share a common destiny. In appointing these envoys, we are not just filling posts, we are entrusting the future of Kenya's voice in a shared regional and global journey. Diplomacy is the art of building bridges, securing peace,
Chairman,
and advancing
Chairman,
prosperity.
Order, Chairman. I don't know if the rules have changed, but ordinarily, whether it's a chairman or anybody, you're not supposed to be reading a text all through. You're supposed to refer to this as notes and make it as brief as possible, please.
Noted, Honorable Speaker. I know the mood of the House is that they just want this thing quickly done, but I am guided.
You understand, I'm sure, yes. So
I get your point.
Wrap it up, wrap it up.
Honorable Speaker, diplomacy is the art of building bridges, securing peace, and advancing prosperity. The committee, therefore, in its wisdom, having looked at all the four nominees, recommends that the House approves the appointment of one, Engineer Peter Kiblaga Tum, CBS, as ambassador to Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Two, Mrs. Susan Nakuminja Wafula, EGH, as permanent representative to the permanent mission of Kenya to UN Habitat Nairobi. Three, Mr. James Boyakane Muhati, CBS, as Consul General to Guangzhou, the People's Republic of China, and Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido as Consul General to the United Republic of Tanzania. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and urge this House to adopt the committee's report. I now respectfully invite Honorable Martha Wangare to second. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think my chair has done justice to all the candidates that we are looking at, so I'll make just general comments. Number one, none of these four appointments are newbies in public service. They have all very long service in terms of where they have been for the last, we can account for the last, an average of every person getting about 10 to 20 years of public service. And Mr. Speaker, we were able as a committee to actually mirror them against the Constitution or the requirements, and also against the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act. And we are very satisfied that they are actually up to the task. Mr. Speaker, allow me to speak about the nominee headed to Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Speaker, you remember this committee and this House previously rejected a candidate to this station because we felt that he was grossly unfit and unqualified to be able to take up that position. And Mr. Speaker, in this engineer Kiplagat Tum, we have no doubt, but we also made it very clear that the task ahead of him is quite monumentous, because first of all, he will be almost resuscitating our presence in DRC, given the situation and what has happened in the past. So he has his work cut out for him, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of UN Habitat, the committee raised a few issues, specifically the issue of integrating UN Habitat with Kenya's government and the better model or the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, that we don't feel like Gigiri is out of Nairobi, out of Kenya, that we should still feel that they're in this country and they're able to also join in getting to contribute to our country's growth. Mr. Speaker, the other one is the issue of Guangzhou. Of course, the interest with China. I don't think specifically this Guangzhou center, Mr. Speaker, if you go to the trade and to the trade balance between us and China, you'll find that there's a lot of traffic, including flights going to Guangzhou specifically because of doing business with China. And there's a lot to be able to get from there. And I know this James Boyakane, who has been also a PS, will also do justice to that station. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the issue of Mr. Abdi and the nomination of Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido as the Arusha, in Arusha, in the United Republic of Tanzania as a Consul General was timely. Why? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is the immediate former PS of EAC. So he not only understands the relationship between the EAC countries, but also understands what needs to be done because he has been in that station, Mr. Speaker. So we have done very well as a committee to actually mirror all these appointments, Mr. Speaker, and we have no doubt that they will not only do this country proud, but even the region, Mr. Speaker, because they are one of the best. So allow me to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Fair enough. That was brief and to the point. Honorable members, I now want to propose a question that taken into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearings of 4 nominees for appointment as ambassador, permanent representative, and consul generals laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 15th April, 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 132(2)(e) of the Constitution, Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185(e), and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Act, Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as permanent representatives, ambassador, and consul generals. 1, Roman 1, ambassador, Engineer Peter Kiplanga Tum, CBS, to go to the mission of Kinshasa in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Roman 2, permanent representative, Ms. Susan Nakumicha Wafula, EGH, permanent mission of Kenya to the UN Habitat in Nairobi. Roman 3, A, Mr. James Buyakane Mohati, CBS, Guangzhou, Republic of the People's Republic of China, as Consul General. B, Mr. Abdi Dubat Fido, Arusha, the United Republic of Tanzania, as Consul General. The Honorable, I don't see much interest, but yes, the Honorable, do you want to say something, Majority Leader? Okay, Honorable Kainan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important motion, Mr. Speaker. Diplomacy, by definition, is the art, science, and the means by which nations and groups conduct their affairs in a way that projects the image of that particular country that we present, in a way that promotes the interest of that particular country, in a way that also protects the interest of that particular country. Mr. Speaker, having said this, under the Vienna Convention, which is the mother of all diplomatic engagements, there are certain critical issues that a diplomat is expected to undertake. In the Kenya context, Mr. Speaker, allow me to say this. As a country, we are not doing well, and we must call a spade a spade. I'm glad that the leader majority is here and the leader minority is here. Once upon a time, this country was the epicenter of all economic activities in the region, the pride of many African states, in particular south of Sahara. Today, our economy is struggling. Mr. Speaker, once upon a time, this country was the epicenter of humanitarian activities. Today, we are struggling. This country is supposed to be the hub of infrastructure. This country is supposed to be a communication hub, Mr. Speaker. This country is supposed to be a security hub. Mr. Speaker, this is what we wanted. This is the Kenya that we wanted. Mr. Speaker, as much as our intention is to give jobs to individuals who qualify, that paper qualification is not enough. You must have the zeal. You must have the determination. You must have the will to represent Kenya as a premier republic, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having been the chair of this committee, having overseen the growth of our diplomatic missions, and Mr. Speaker, you are the deputy speaker. You remember at that particular time, we had a department, we didn't have even a diaspora department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You remember the report that we tabled? That led to the establishment of a diaspora desk at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Ultimately, that also led to the establishment of diaspora desk in all our missions. Today, by the grace of God, the diaspora community is the single largest foreign exchange earner to our country. The diaspora department has a fully fledged state department, Mr. Speaker, These are the gains of some of the individuals who are foresighted and ensuring that our diplomatic representation does not only mirror on political engagement, but also mirrors on the economic realities and the well-being of the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as much as I agree with this, the individuals are qualified. You are appointed as Kenya's representative to UN Habitat. Let me zero on this. This is a technical organization. A technical organization. The UN Human Settlements Program is supposed to promote socially and environmentally sustainable towns and cities. It's also supposed to promote a transformative change in cities and human settlements through knowledge, policy, advice, and technical advice, Mr. Speaker. You have been given this. Are you ready for that job? Mr. Speaker, allow me, without demeaning the character of the person who has been appointed to this position, to remind her that this is not going to the Ministry of Health. You will interact with many technical people representing the face of the universe. Those failed appointments in Ministry of Health should not be carried over to UN Habitat. I want to urge her, we are giving you this job, you are qualified. What is out of
I'm afraid, Honorable Speaker, all of us know the work Nakhumicha did at the Ministry of Health. I'm afraid my friend cannot just start despite Wamboka order what is out of order. No, you can't say we know. It's a point of debate. You will have your moment. You will have your moment. Proceed, Honorable Kenan.
I have no doubt that she has.
Are you on a point of order? Can you give are you on a point of order? Yes. What's your point of order?
Let me wear my kofia so that you can see me properly. Mr. Speaker, it is out of order for anybody to discuss somebody on the floor of the House, especially a woman, without giving her right of reply. It is unfair. It is completely out of order for the honorable to discuss an honorable, gracious lady on the floor.
Order, honorable member. That is the real essence of bringing. You want to inform who? No, your chair does not need any information at this stage.
Point of information.
Wamboka, you will have your moment. Do you want to be informed by Wamboka? Do you want to be informed by Wamboka, by Honorable Kenan?
Speaker, Wamboka is my good friend. I haven't said anything. I said I support her nomination. I'm only trying to expand her job description. I support her nomination as our representative to UN Habitat. But I'm trying to bring an analogy between I am a consumer.
Honorable
Allow
members,
me to say this, Mr. Speaker.
The very essence of bringing this before the House.
I support her nomination.
Order. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker,
Proceed.
Let me put it on record. As a father of many highly educated, beautiful girls, I support the nomination of the Honorable Susan as our representative. But I only want to give her a word of encouragement that this organization, this technical organization that she has been appointed to, is not like the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health was a department, a state department in the Kenya context. She's going to interact with the whole world. If she was somewhere, she'll be taking notes now. What I'm trying to tell her, this is a technical UN arm. And I think I should be allowed to offer free advice because I may not see her. I attempted to see her from February 2024 to until she was removed as the minister, and I failed to get an appointment. So let me pass this message for free, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to say is this. In summary, when you are appointed to this very important portfolio to represent the president, to represent the people of Kenya, it is not an assignment for you to go on make a living. It's an assignment for you to go and promote this country so that we benefit from your representation. And this is what I'm trying to allude to. When you go to UN Habitat, Mr. Speaker, you represent one of the refugee-dominated towns in Kenya. We want her representation in this organization to benefit the people of Dadaab, to benefit the people of Kakuma. And this is what I'm trying to say. I have no doubt she will do the job. Mr. Speaker, secondly, as a country, and I must say this, somebody has been appointed to Kinshasa. Luckily, in this country, we have not gone through militarism. You know it. We are lucky. But are we courageous enough to say and address the pitfalls?
Can I,
the missed opportunities?
My good friend Martha Wangari, who is my colleague in the speakers panel, and my other good lady friend there, your Kamukunji is a bit too loud for the House. Please do it in very low tones. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, my expectations of these individuals who have been appointed to these key posts, my expectations, and I want to mention 10 expectations of Aden Kainan as a member of parliament, elders, and equally as the longest serving member of parliament. 10 expectations, wherever they are. Number one expectation, promote Kenya's foreign policy in providing services to not only Kenyans, to wherever they are. 2, build and strengthen bilateral relations that can benefit the people of Kenya. This is the era of multilateralism. This is the era of bilateralism, Mr. Speaker. Going outside to those organizations must add to Kenya's presence in the international community, Mr. Speaker. 3, enhance our national security and regional stability. Mr. Speaker, you know, in this region, look at what is happening. The challenges in Sudan, the challenges in Southern Sudan, the challenges in DRC, the challenges in Somalia, the challenges in Ethiopia, and the entire region. And Kenya has been an icon of peace. This must be protected, this must be promoted, so that Kenya becomes an island, continues to become an island of peace. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, enhance our national security, and 3, enhance our economic and trade expansion. Mr. Speaker, I want you to compare for a minute the GDP of the Republic of Kenya with the GDP of Ethiopia, with the GDP of Tanzania, with the GDP of Uganda, and reflect on where we were 10 years ago. Ours is barely struggling. The GDP of Ethiopia today is 4 times that, is projected to be 4 times that of Kenya. Is that where we are supposed to be? Look at the GDP of Tanzania. Look at the GDP of Uganda. Mr. Speaker, my prayer to these individuals when you are given this job, please work hard for our economic expansion so that many youths who are unemployed, can get opportunities, Mr. Speaker. My 4th expectation, engagement. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I have a lot of respect for my elder here, but I wanted to inform him that in real terms, our economy is doing better than Ethiopia. Ethiopia just defaulted on their loan. Kenya has never. Yeah, so I just wanted to inform him that Ethiopia is still below, in terms of economic performance, we are doing better than Ethiopia. And I know they are on the right trajectory, but Kenya is doing better than Ethiopia. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I think sometimes, with due respect to my good chair, I said the projected GDP. Mr. Speaker, I said the projected GDP.
I get you. Ethiopia.
Mr. Speaker, my 5th expectation, I want to conclude. My 5th expectation is engage the Kenyan diaspora wherever they are. These are valued representative of the people of Kenya, and they are contributing immensely to our economic well-being. Number 6, Mr. Speaker, protect the Kenyan citizens and interests abroad, wherever they are. Number 7, advocate for Kenya's global position so that Kenya continues to remain a key player in all international organizations, Mr. Speaker. Number 8, do a strategic networking and influence. Mr. Speaker, this is why lobbyism is an emerging field in the world. If you go to America today, the best paid job is lobbyism. Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Junet, order. Don't create a small fish market there in the floor of the House. Order. Proceed, Honorable Kena.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm that fish is the most delicious food one can ever have.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, 8 is do a strategic networking and influence.
Or a camel market for that matter.
Mr. Speaker, I was just saying, if you go to America today, the most sought after academic field is lobbyism. A few years ago, lobbyism was associated with activism and other fields. Engage in bringing Kenyans through their network and influence. Number 9, compliance with international law and order. Mr. Speaker, this is why we say Kenya is
Give him one additional minute. Yeah, conclude.
Mr. Speaker, this is why I say Kenya is the face of compliance with international law and order. And this is what has given us prominence in the international community. This must be protected jealously. Finally, Mr. Speaker, deliver on tangible results. We are here. We are coming for you. The committee led by Honorable Bashir and Koech must be on the neck of these individuals so that they bring results. I support their nomination.
The majority leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this motion for the approval of the ambassadors. Honorable Speaker, as the chair of the committee said, Honorable Bashir, these ambassador nominees are seasoned civil servants, some of whom have served in very senior positions. Engineer Tum has been a PS for very many years in the Ministry of Health. Then he moved to the Ministry of Sports. I think he was last in the Ministry of Sports, and he's done exceptionally well as a PS. And this would also be a very good way of serving the country in another capacity other than that of an accounting officer in a ministry. And he has what it takes to serve our country. His experience in the Ministry of Health, his experience in the Ministry of Sports and Arts has positioned him very well. And it's good that he's going to a country that is not very far from the capital, going to Kinshasa with all the challenges that are there in the DRC, Honorable Speaker. He sits at a very good position to be able to midwife the issues that have bedeviled the East African community engagements in the DRC and that of SADC. And I want to believe that Honorable Tum, or PS Tum, now Ambassador Engineer Tum, will also do very well in promoting trade between our country and the Congo. A lot of enterprises in this country, including 2 large commercial banks in this country, are doing business in the Congo, in DRC, in Kinshasa. And therefore, we need presence of an ambassador who commands respect, not just within the business community, but also one who can engage formally and also informally with both governments. And Engineer Tum, having been a PS, sits at that very good position to be able to engage effectively and meaningfully with both governments to smoothen the trade opportunities that exist between us and the Democratic Republic of Congo. I know, Honorable Speaker, we've had challenges with this particular posting, with rejection by the House of one of the nominees. I can't remember his name, a gentleman who had been nominated in DRC, but that was it was not Kinshasa, Honorable Speaker. There was a mission, I can't remember. What is the other mission, Vice Chair? I can't remember. But it tells you that there has been a gap. And with the movement of the last ambassador to Kinshasa, it is not good to leave this post without a substantive ambassador representing our country, considering the challenges that I've said with the war in the Congo, the trade opportunities that we are missing, the many huge investments by Kenyan business people that they have made in the DRC, Honorable Speaker. It's important that we have a substantive ambassador here. Honorable Speaker, Susan Nakhumicha also, as has been said, her stint at the Ministry of Health put her as a person who was very articulate, a go-getter, someone who was able to effectively communicate what the ministry was doing. And at some point, Honorable Speaker, we missed Honorable CS Nakhumicha in her articulation especially, and push for the social health authorities, the social health insurance fund. I am happy now, Honorable Speaker, that she has, that work has been taken over by my predecessor, Honorable Aden Duale, and I am very confident that Honorable Duale, as I said the other week, will do well to actualize universal health coverage in this country. This morning, the PSs have been sworn in, and PS Dr. Oluga, who is going to serve as a PS of medical services, is also a seasoned professional in the medical field, and I want to believe he also do very well together with Honorable Duale. I'm saying that because, Honorable Speaker, I am certain that the foundation that was set by CS Nakumicha, especially in midwifing the process of moving from NHIF to SHIF, she set a very good foundation, and this, Honorable Speaker, puts her at a very good position to now serve as an ambassador locally within the permanent mission of the UN Habitat in Kenya. And she will also be available for consultations with the Ministry of Health, where she will be required from time to time as a former minister to consult and offer guidance to those who are there. Because, Honorable Speaker, many people may have varied opinions on her performance in the Ministry of Health. But by and large, she did exceptionally well, especially considering that she was midwifing a transition from what was a very difficult national health insurance fund, riddled with corruption. And you know, the corruption cartels in Afia House, as was then Christian Mafia House, were definitely expected to fight back. And you have seen the pushback that has been there with the Social Health Insurance Fund, because corruption fights back. And we've always said corruption fights back. I don't know why we tend to forget that the corruption cartels that bedevil NHIF are still within this country, Honorable Speaker. And if you doubt, look at the expose that was exposed by some German media house on organ trafficking within a health facility in Eldoret. And you see the same characters around who are being mentioned around that organ trafficking are the same characters who are being mentioned in the theft of public funds at NHIF. Therefore, corruption fights back. And that's why I am very slow at admonishing public officers who have served in this ministry, because I know these very powerful cartels have the capacity to use whatever means they can use to tarnish people's names. And we have seen them using many means, Honorable Speaker, to tarnish even the name of Susan Nakumicha, who, in my estimation, did exceptionally well. Honorable Speaker, I commend her, and I vouch for her for approval as a permanent representative to the UN Habitat Mission in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, let me speak about James Buyekane Muhati. Muhati, Honorable Speaker, also, as the chair said, and for those who have bothered to go through the report, has served very well and served our country very well as a PS and in various other capacities, even at IEBC. And he is moving on to Guangzhou as a Consul General. Guangzhou, for those who are business people like myself and Honorable Kainan, will tell you that if you have not been to Guangzhou and you're a trader in this country, then you have not been doing any trade. And this is a very important destination for many Kenyan business people who import products from China. And even those who are beginning to do cottage industry in this country, Honorable Speaker, we have many people who go to Guangzhou to learn from the cottage industries that have grown in the city of Guangzhou to be mega industries. And we have very many Kenyans who are now importing even skills and equipment from Guangzhou to come and set up cottage industries in our country, especially around the value chain of agro-processing, Honorable Speaker. And I want to believe that Muhati will do very well in terms of being able to harness our relations between the city of Guangzhou, the province of Guangzou, the Republic of China, and our country, and more so the business people between the two countries. Abdi Dubat, again, has served as a principal secretary in the government of Kenya. And being a seasoned accountant, he is an accountant. I know that for a fact because we're in the same profession. And I know the trade issues that again are there between us and the EAC community, issues to do with disproportionate tariffs amongst our countries, and the push and pull, Honorable Speaker, because you can see now we're in an era of protectionist policies, and everybody wants to protect their own. And Kenya should be no exception. We must protect our own industries, we must protect our own manufacturers and our business people. And therefore, Abdi Dubat has his work cut out at EAC in Arusha to ensure that even as we work together within the East African community and the other regional blocks that are there, Honorable Speaker, that as we encourage trade and open up the African free trade, African free, it's called what? The African Continental Free Trade Area. As we open up, Honorable Speaker, we also protect our own industries. And I want to believe that Abdi Dubat, having been a principal secretary, being a seasoned accountant, Honorable Speaker, will serve very well. I know the Honorable Junet wants us to put the question, but I was also trying to buy time for other reasons, Honorable Speaker, in saying what I am saying, and he knows why. I therefore beg to support before we put the question or before others contribute to put the question.
I would give the Honorable Bissau an opportunity to contribute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I raise to support the motion, and I think all the four candidates are a very good pick. But on the onset, I would like to exceptionally talk about the nominee for the Habitat, Madam Nahomicha, who I also interacted with when I worked at the United Nations myself, when she was working with the University of California as the head of supplies. With her demeanor, experience, I think she's a very good fit. And I think I had the contribution from Honorable Kainan, talking about the agency being technical. I think as much as it's technical, the personality, the zeal, the experience, I think Nahomicha is a very good pick. And for the other picks as well, if you look at the DRC Congo, you need a mind of a person like Engineer Tum, cool person in those type of environment. And Engineer, PS Muhadi as well, who's moving to China, is also a very good pick. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion.
The Honorable Junet, are you going to ask me to put the question?
No, Mr. Speaker, let me just contribute. I didn't want to contribute. Let me say I oppose the motion, Mr. Speaker. I oppose because, Mr. Speaker, you know, we cannot be recycling people who have served in a very high office, and then you give them another office. When will career diplomats get a chance to serve in our diplomatic missions, Mr. Speaker? When are they going to get, Mr. Speaker? Every politician who has failed, every civil servant who has failed, every person who has failed is being dumped in a certain mission somewhere in the world, Mr. Speaker. This is demoralizing our career civil servant. There are people, Mr. You heard you were saying majority leader. Now let me do my minority work. This is my minority job now. There is no broad based on this one.
Order, proceed.
Majority leader, there is no broad based on this one. There is no broad based.
Who is mentioning point of order?
Mr. Speaker, you see, they are career civil servants who start their life in a very young age as civil servants who want to work in the world of diplomacy. They start in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from job group something down there. They grow. Then when they reach near deputy ambassador, they get stagnated there. They can never move from there because Junet will be voted out in Suna East, then he will be made an ambassador. Kainan, I can see is most likely after next election is going there. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kainan, there's nothing out of order. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, me, I'm of the view, even the government The government, Mr. Speaker, of Honorable, the late Daniel teacher of Moi, never did this. Kibaki never did this. This thing started with the Jubilee Upper. This is of recycling people like the way you recycle Dandora West, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this culture must stop. This culture must end. If you see, these were people who were serving in high offices. The appointing authority has the prerogative to relieve them of their duties. But by the time he's relieving them of their duties, that means there must have been some problem. There must have been either some incompetence somewhere, some malpractice somewhere. There must be something like that. Or change of loyalty. You know, maybe some went to a Munyoro, who knows?
Honorable Junet, sometimes it has very little to do with efficiency and performance. It has maybe broad-based government. Are you sure?
No. Okay. Mr. Speaker, it's not. Far from it. Far from it. It is about other issues. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to see in a list of 10 diplomatic appointments here, minimum of 6 or 7 career diplomats. Then we can have top-ups of 3. Who are, if Abushomba loses the way she's going to lose in Githunguri next time, then she can be an ambassador somewhere, Mr. Speaker. Because you can see that the line she has taken is direct to home. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say this. Mr. Speaker, that let us...
What's out of order, Honorable Omichomba?
Mr. Speaker, you know, I respect you very much as a speaker, and I expect you to protect me from the bullying of the Honorable
He said in the
who is talking about me? There is no election between now and next year. Is he becoming a prophet to prophesy that I'm going to lose in Githunguri? And by the way, who told him that I'm interested anyway? Has he become a prophet? Can he clarify whether he's now becoming a prophet? He is out of order. We are discussing about people who are going to work as diplomats, not Wamushomba. Wamushomba is a member of parliament, the Iron Lady from Githunguri, the woman who walks on Fox without shoes.
Honorable Omichomba.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Omichomba, you can trust the chair will always protect you.
Mr. Speaker.
But this is order. But the Honorable Junet said, in the event. In the event is neither here nor there. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I am very sorry to Honorable Muchomba because
you want to be informed by
I was soliciting and lobbying for her that in the event the Munyoro bus gets punctured, I was trying to get her a soft landing that she can become the ambassador in charge of Githunguri and command area, Mr. Speaker.
Do you order Honorable Junet?
I want
majority leader to inform you. Okay.
Honorable Speaker, maybe the Honorable Leader of Minority has not heard what the member for Githunguri has said. And I hear what you are saying about what you meant when you said what you said. But the member for Githunguri has asked who even told you she's interested in running for member of parliament for Githunguri. Because she probably knows running will be a futile attempt on those things.
Okay, proceed, Junet. Honorable Junet.
Mr. Speaker, I have heard what the majority has told me. But Mr. Speaker, you know, Wamushomba is an Iron Lady. I can't withstand Wamushomba out of office. If she's so strong now when she's in office, what do you think she can do when she's out of office? She can run us out of this town. So we must create for her some diplomatic posting in charge of Githunguri, command area, up to Lare, Limuru. Then we call that area UNEP, Githunguri. Then she can become diplomatic. Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order, Honorable Omichomba?
Honorable Speaker, you know, you have allowed these honorable members to make me the point of discussion on this issue. But I'm very excited that they are calling me all those very good names because they know that I am a beautiful, intelligent woman who have shown them dust in the political corridors. I am happy that the majority leader is talking about me. Yet on Saturday, in a public forum where the president visited Githunguri, he could not show his face. He disappeared like a smoke. He ran away literally.
Order. This is getting out of hand. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, order, honorable Junet, order. Yeah, but you see, you without a substantive, I will give you an opportunity, but you better know how to navigate your way around. The standing order is very clear. You cannot discuss the character of an honorable member without a substantive motion. So for God's sake, don't discuss her character, but you can discuss events, You can discuss ideas. You can discuss the motion that's before you. Okay, what's your point of order?
Mr.
Honorable?
Speaker,
Oh,
before
what
the
is
point-
out of order? No, he's on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, mine was on misinformation because, Honorable Speaker, last Saturday, I was nowhere near where the president was, and the member for Githunguri knows that. I think she wanted to mean the Saturday when we were in Githunguri constituency. And you know, I'm a peace-loving Kenyan. And I am also a consumer of certain intelligence reports. And I had intelligence reports of what the member for Githunguri and the governor for Kiambu, with the stashed money that you saw being pulled out of bedrooms, had planned against the member for Kiambu,
Order,
against the
order, Majority Leader, order. You are both out of order.
Yeah.
She discussed you without a substantive motion. You're discussing her without a substantive motion, and I would not have that anymore.
Mr. Speaker,
Order. The House has got to be.
Mr. Speaker, in conclusion,
Honorable Junaid, conclude, please.
Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of diplomacy,
yes,
and international relations and national relations, Mr. Speaker, the undisputed kingpin of Kiambu County is Honorable Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah. Mr. Speaker, that I must put on record.
Order. Order, Honorable Deputy, Honorable Minority Leader. Whether it is in good light or bad light, you cannot discuss the character of a honorable member of parliament and his fortune order on his fortune's back without a substantive motion. Order. You think it's the only time when it's being discussed in a negative tone is when it's out of order. Even in positive term, without a substantive motion, is out of order.
Mr. Speaker, in conclusion
Can you conclude?
I am concluding.
Yes.
That, Mr. Speaker, that I hope these Kenyans who have been given this chance of serving us will do a good job, because those stations they are going to are very important stations in terms of business, in terms of international relations, in terms of cultural and technological exchanges, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, in this country, we love ourselves so much as politicians and people who are in high offices that we forget that there are other Kenyans out there who are qualified, who can do this job. So, Mr. Speaker, I am totally opposed, and I think I should bring here some legislation. I'm opposing completely this motion, completely, and I am asking the executive, please don't send like this one again. This will be the last one. Even the other one, when people were removed from offices and they were posted to diplomatic position, I opposed it. It is on record here, Mr. Speaker. This is not the first one I'm opposing. Why should you be discharged as a minister or as a PS? Then you end up becoming now an errand boy for another PS in the MFA, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's a demotion, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we should not allow this to happen. There are other senior positions these Kenyans can serve at the level where they were serving at. But for Githunguri, I will create a diplomatic position there when I become the president. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Junaid, Mazamzam. Order, I will indeed. Okay.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuunga mjadala wa leo kuhusu uteuzi wa Mheshimiwa Susan Nakhumicha. Najua mambo mengi yametokea, lakini ukiangalia katika ukakamavu wake wa kazi na masomo yake anastahili. Ndiyo yalitokea kutokea katika Wizara ya Afya, na sio mwaka wa kwanza kutokea akiwa hapo. Yametokea wakiwa wengi wa madaktari kugoma. Kwa hiyo ni taifa liangalie tu madaktari, walimu na wengine wanaangaliwa vipi mshahara yao na mambo yao. Lakini Nakhumicha alionyesha, na ni mama, mimi kama mama siwezi kumvuta mama mwenzangu chini, kwa sababu najua anaweza, aliweza na anaweza. Hata kama pengine ametoka sehemu kubwa amerudi sehemu ya chini, lakini pia pale anaweza kuserve taifa yake akiwa pale, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi naunga uteuzi wake na namwombea Mungu aweze kufanya kazi yake akiangalia maslahi ya Wakenya yaweke mbele. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Because
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the nomination for the three to the ambassadorial positions. The Honorable Peter Toom, Engineer Peter Toom, the Honorable Susan Nakumicha, and the other two who have been nominated to ambassadors. That is to the Habitat, then to the DRC, and then to Consul. Honorable Speaker, I want to disagree with the minority leader in that stating that these are people who did not perform in their various areas, and stating that it should only be people who have grown in their careers. You know, ambassadors are people with different expertise. They are they're just not only within the diplomatic circles. You have people who are expertise in trade. You have people who are expertise in health. It exposes everybody to an equal opportunity. And I think this is where we come in. Having served in the various capacities as a cabinet secretary for health, Susan Nakumicha demonstrated that she's capable and she's of wide experience, and she was able to, as a former chair of the health committee, were able to work well, and she had capacity to be able to deliver. And I think going in now as an ambassador to the UN Habitat.
Are you on a point of order, Honorable Koyo? Oh, Honorable, would you wish to be informed by the Honorable Koyo?
Yes, the
Yes,
member for
proceed, Honorable.
Ahero can inform me. Mohoroni,
Mohoroni.
sorry. The Honorable Koyo, yes.
Thank you very much. With due respect, Mr. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform my good friend that Ambassador is backing orders report to permanent secretaries. So Mr. Toom, my friend who was Engineer Toom, who was permanent secretary, now will be reporting to another permanent secretary who is now will be his boss, meaning he has been demoted. Thank you.
I think that was not information.
Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I think you need to understand a little bit about statecraft. An ambassador is a representative of the president. That's why he's called His Excellency.
Yes.
Or Her Excellency.
And the PS is not His Excellency.
Order. The chair is talking and you should freeze. That is why when you are appointed as an ambassador, it's not a demotion. A minister, maybe technically you have a certain thing, but that ambassador represents the head of state. That's why they're called His Excellency or Her Excellency. You cannot address a permanent secretary as His Excellency. So it's not a demotion. Proceed.
Thank you. And that's why I was saying his information has not helped my debate because you know, the ambassador will be representing Kenya in the various capacities. Now, if approved by this House, His Excellency Peter Toom will be representing our country in Kinshasa, DRC Congo. And DRC Congo being a member of the East African region, I think he will be able to hasten DRC's integration into the East African community so that DRC can also be able to enjoy the fruits of being a member of the East Africa. And we hope that with his going there, he will also be able to improve on the peace that is within the DRC so that DRC people can also enjoy the tranquility and peace within the region. Honorable Speaker, our Ambassador Abdi to Arusha, Tanzania is also a very key partner of the East African region, and he will be able to represent our interests within Arusha and Tanzania and be able to also hasten our East African integration. Honorable Speaker, I rise under standing order number 95 to say that going by the mood in the House, I can feel that members are in agreement that this bill, this motion needs to pass. I would therefore like to ask the mover to be asked to reply. Thank you. I looked at your faces. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Order. I've had
I've not concluded.
Order. Honorable, because there has been a number of. Is it the mood of the house that the order, honorable, order. All of you, order. A point of order can be raised in the midst of contribution by any member. And the moment a point of order is raised, it freezes everything. And if in the opinion of the speaker, that point of order is genuine, then that speaker makes a communication. So now that he rose on a point of order, and I want to know if the mood of the house is that the mover should be called upon to reply, I now put the question, order. It's not after anybody. You don't know the rules. You are a majority leader. My question, order. I now put the question that the mover be called to reply. Has been out the opinion say aye? Has been out the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it, and mover be called upon to reply. No. You don't. Honorable Majority Leader, because you are my good friend, I have all the respect for you. But you people have turned this house into something else. The order, not after I have already put in a question on whether the mover should be called upon to reply or not. Please respect the rules of the house. I left these rules when they were sacrosanct. Now you people are turning it into something else. Order. Proceed, honorable mover, reply. As long as I'm on the chair here, I'll protect the rules of the house and the dignity of the house. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that guidance. Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the members who have made immense contributions to the motion. And I agree that the mood of the House is as you stated. But just for a point of information, Honorable Speaker, in the last session, we actually did not agree or actually did not approve the name of Charles Githinji Kairu, who was a nominee for DRC. So it's not also taken for granted that the committee or this house just passes anybody. So we rejected a nominee on the basis of the fact that he was not fit for that kind of assignment. Honorable Speaker, and I'm sure the minority leader has spoken about the members being demoted, getting some other positions, but you have put it rightly that they are called excellencies. While they're here in the country, they are not called. So it's not a demotion as such, and they represented the president in those capacities. And when they are moved from those positions, it's not because of incompetence, but because of the reassignment to the various positions. So with those few remarks, I beg to reply.
Order, honorable members, I now put the question. That taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearings of 4 nominees for appointment as ambassador, permanent representative, and consul generals laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 15th April, 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 132(2)(e) of the Constitution and Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185(e), and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as permanent representative, ambassador, and consul generals. 1, Roman 1, Ambassador Engineer Peter Kiplangatum, CBS, as ambassador for Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa. 2, Roman 2, permanent representative Miss Susan Nakumicha Wafula, EGH, Permanent Mission of Kenya to the United Nations Habitat, Nairobi. 3, Roman 3, Consuls Generals. A, Mr. James Buyekane Muhati, CBS, as Consul General for Guangzhou, People's Republic of China. And B, Abdi Dubat Fido,